Hello YouTube, I'm Tyler and you're watching another Fischler Moto video. This is my 2001 ZX6R J2. In today's video I'll be changing out the front brake pads, as recently I've noticed they're starting to get a bit low. So I've gone out and got some new EBC pads ready to go in. Quick disclaimer though, my bike don't have the standard 6-pot calipers on it, as the previous owner has done quite a common brake upgrade and swapped them out for 4 pots from a Mark 1 1200 Bandit, which is a pretty common swap and upgrade on these bikes. The original calipers have 6 pistons and should look like this. But the Bandit calipers have 4 pistons and should look like this. They both take different brake pads, so make sure you know what caliper you've got before you order some new pads. Now that's all done and out of the way, let's have a look at what tools we're going to need to be able to do the job.
You are going to need a 12mm socket and ratchet, a crosshead screwdriver, a piston rewind tool, which I don't have, but a small pry bar will be able to do the job as well, a 5mm Allen key, a can of brake cleaner, a soft wire brush, and 2 sets of brake pads. Now we know what tools we need. Let's make a start by removing the front brake fluid reservoir, safety clip and lid. Undo the 2 12mm bolts that hold the caliper to the fork leg. Then slide the brake caliper off the brake disc. We can now see that my brake pads are low, but not dangerously low. But my caliper is filthy and needs a good clean. Before removing the pads from the brake caliper, I need to push all 4 pistons back so that they are flush. You can get a tool for this and it will make it a little easier, but I don't have one of them. So instead, a small pry bar between the pads will be able to do the same job. To remove the pads from the caliper, undo this 5mm Allen bolt and remove the pin. Then take off the spring and the pads should just fall out. Using the brake cleaner and a wire brush, give the caliper a good clean and remove all brake dust and road grime. After all the brake cleaner has evaporated off, visually check your brake seals to make sure they're seated correctly and are in an okay condition. As well as the caliper, I've also cleaned the brake pad pin and spring. Before I fit the new pads, I smear a little bit of copper grease on the moving parts of the brake pad, whilst also being careful not to get any on the brake pad face or surface itself. Put the outside pad into the caliper first and then use the pin to hold it in place. Slot the inside pad into the caliper, followed by the spring clip. Then fully slide the pin in and do it up. Now it's all back together, separate the pads and slot the caliper back onto the disc. Do up the caliper bolts and then repeat this whole process on the other front brake caliper. When you've finished changing the brake pads in both of your front calipers, pump up the front brake lever until it feels firm. Before refitting the front brake reservoir lid, I'm going to check my brake fluid. This tool will tell me the moisture percentage and if it's good, okay, or bad. It's okay, so no need to change the brake fluid at the moment. Now that's done, I can fit the reservoir lid and clip back on. Last thing before job is done, check the brake fluid level is correct.
And that's it, YouTube. Job done. The front brake pads are all changed and it's a nice, simple, easy job, which anyone should be able to do themselves at home. The only thing left to do is to take the bike out for a ride and bed the brakes in properly. Remember, for the first 50 or so miles, to take it easy until the brake pads have bedded in properly. Until then, they won't perform at their maximum braking efficiency. Hopefully, you've enjoyed the video and found it useful and should feel confident in changing the front brake pads on your own bike at home yourself. Make sure to give the video a like and subscribe to the channel, as there will be more content coming soon. Thanks for watching Fish La Moto.